that 3-hour block, you guys have had an opportunity to coach your peers, you've had the opportunity to do a bit of peer feedback, but the key bits are that you would have understood the difference between technical, tactical, physical and mental. You'd have experienced a range of drills. You would have got to know how's that a little bit more through how it works, through scrolling through the technical, tactical bits. You would have looked at some extra video, how it pans out in terms of its, let's call it its lesson plans, okay, its instructions, some of the coaching points to pick up on. It ran a little different to we'd originally chatted about at the beginning, okay, just a bit of feedback from Wolves, which helped us. Originally what was going to happen is we were going to get one group to deliver the technical session, then we'd each get you to deliver your tactical, your mental, your physical, and then we'd just rotate round so you to get to know it. Wolves said, think about it as a bit of a carousel, okay, so just like we started doing. One group ran it, which is good, so we started to see how it ran. Then you got to see the other games, got to do it, got to play it. The reflection questions for us as tutors to start asking is the activity that you're running age and stage appropriate for the group of players? What are you delivering? So just reaffirming that technical, tactical, physical, mental within there. What outcomes are we actually looking at? So I asked the group here that we did the physical, okay, which element of the physical aspect are you trying to develop in your players? And Faz and Riley said, yeah, speed and agility is what we're trying to develop over there.
Yeah, I think the only other question would be, as coaches, would be what's next? You know, having done that to that group, that session, and developed a skill and hopefully had the successful outcome that you planned for, what would the extension of that be for the next session or the next time that you would choose to do that session? A couple of other things for me. One would be, given the environment we're in, the equipment we had that was probably relatively appropriate, what would you think in an ideal world the hall would look like and the equipment would look like if we were doing a young people and adult certificate course? What equipment would we have been using? Yeah. So ideally, as I think as Ward said, have guys with a front dog on, they'd have their gloves on, they'd have their helmets, you know, ideally have their helmets on if it was kids you were working with, and they would actually be driving hard balls into a net situation. So thinking about, you know, the split, the differentiation between the child's course and the young people and adults course is, you know, if you went to a club and you were coaching 12, 13, 14-year-olds, you would by and large see lots of people with hard ball cricket. There may be times where indoors you would choose to use tennis balls, that's fine, but by and large we need to start thinking about how would it replicate closely what would happen in a club session or a regional session or whatever it may be. So just to bear that in mind would be the first thing. And I think the only other thing, if you don't mind me just carrying onwards, would be traditionally for us all as tutors now, my thinking, as soon as we got that group delivering to the whole group, if you like, I was starting to critically appraise the performance of the coach and thinking, you know, did he demonstrate well? Did he instruct and explain? Was it safe? Was it organised? As a coach educator, I immediately went into that mode, which is fine because I think as coach educators that is what we do. But the important thing to remember was at this stage of the course that wasn't really the primary outcome. We weren't critically appraising what the coach was doing. We were just that the outcome was allowing them to do exactly what Paige had said, have a look at how's that, have a bit of a rummage around, start to understand the player needs, the outcomes and what type of practice it was that we were going to display in the game. You know, was it a fixed practice, was it a variable practice, is it game based, what do my players need and what are they going to get out of it? So that was what we were trying to get out of that as tutors.